हमें अभी we got a call from Satish Kaushik ji and we got a tweet from Shabana Azmi.
Yeah,
Matlab Manoj Bajpayee, these people are talking about it, we're very humbled. Once we read the script, which is like 550 pages, this thick, it was a ride.
Fourth one?
I don't know.
Bridge Dala Biryani House Food? No.
G? No?
Oh. No.
Full-fledged set corporate career 2016 में with full-fledged set family मैंने छोड़ दिया.
I genuinely think it shares a lot in common with Scam because it was very real. Obviously, I can't tell you anything about Family Man 2. I can only say that it will be bigger and better than the first season and it will be coming soon. So stay tuned.
Shreya and Pratik, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations. You know, I'm right now rather starstruck because I finished the entire series, 1992, Harshad Mehta, The Scam, and I think you guys have delivered, both of you have delivered outstanding performances.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
do you feel like superstars from within?
You see, our reactions were the same. We didn't plan it. नहीं.
Right.
मतलब
अभी तक तो नहीं. We are still reeling from a little shock कि हमें अभी we got a call from Satish Kaushik ji and we got a tweet from Shabana Azmi.
Yeah,
Matlab Manoj Bajpayee, these people are talking about it, we're very humbled. So we still got
Right.
to do it.
No, whoever and has seen it and they are absolutely raving about it. I think it's richly deserved. Now, you know, where do I start from? Because there are too many things to ask. There are literally too many things to ask.
कुछ भी, Faridoon, कुछ भी.
आपका एक dialogue है, Sucheta Dalal, that you don't have to really make expensive choices when you refuse his offer. And about the wine, you tell him that things don't have to be expensive to be nice or something of that sort.
Yeah.
You know, I think it defines happiness questions or the unhappiness question for Sucheta Dalal and Harshad Mehta in the series. She was happy with her ethics and he wanted too much of something that he maybe didn't need and chose the path of unhappiness at the end of it. How much is enough?
I mean, that is a very interesting way to look at it. But I genuinely think when it comes to that scene, I think Harshad was doing what he genuinely thought was right. And Sucheta was doing what she genuinely thought was right. And it just happened that they both were on the opposite sides of the table.
Okay, but I'm giving you a perspective from a viewer after having seen it in entirety. You know that basically it's all about greed, or maybe the lack of it, or maybe the pursuit of passion over just recklessly going after money.
That is so nice. It's so nice to hear what people think, and you know, it's really nice.
Right. Okay, Pratik, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
So I guess when this particular scene was even when we were shooting that particular scene,
my favorite scene.
Yeah.
And that was, I guess, the first encounter between these two guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just approaching from Harshad's point of view. That why is he meeting this lady? What is there in his mind? It was a very interesting thing for me to portray as an actor. Why? Because Harshad never thought that he's doing anything bad. And whatever that he said, that I am thinking for the country, for the betterment of the country, and you have to decide whether you are on my side or not. Because I can't change the country on my own. I need support from people like you, is what he said in that scene. And he's so much convinced with his own theory and all. So my job was, as an actor, that without any bias in mind, just approach that particular character or particular scene or every scene and this character also neutrally. And then keep it open for audience to think about it. That what was he doing actually? Because we've made one thing very clear, that he was not interested in any other way, you know. He was not in any other thing. There was no interest for him in for that lady. उसको दूसरा कुछ नहीं करना था. उसका एक ही मकसद था. His business, his money, his stock market, money market, and that's it. So I guess he was coming from so much of passion within him, and that's how I have approached that character and that feeling.
No, absolutely. You say that he was not interested in Sucheta in any other way whatsoever, and the interesting part is that the story approaches, the entire series approaches Harshad's character in a very humane manner, in a very human manner.
Yeah.
That he's not presented as this vile and bad guy who only has vices and nothing else, like the way he has been presented as a family man, for example.
Yeah.
that comes across as very nicely. And he could be happy in simple pleasures of life and his tenacity to just learn golf. So there have been a lot of positive things about him which have come out quite nicely. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि ये जो एक ह्यूमन उसका एलिमेंट दिखाने की कोशिश करी है वो एक USP है सीरीज का that makes it so believable in a way?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest USPs of the show and of the character also. Because इनके बारे में इतना कुछ लिखा गया है, इतना कुछ क्रिटिसाइज हुआ है, इतनी सारी थियोरीज हैं और आज भी हैं. उनके जाने के इतने सालों बाद भी इतनी सारी थियोरीज हैं जो लोग डिस्कस करते हैं कि ये ऐसा हुआ था, फिर ऐसा हुआ होगा, शायद उसने ऐसा सोचा होगा. तब तो खैर इंटरनेट और सोशल मीडिया नहीं था, वरना आई गेस आई एम श्योर कि तब भी कुछ अलग ही पूरा मूवमेंट हो चुका होता. हमने भी जब रिसर्च किया था तो आई गेस वी हैव हर्ड, वी हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स अबाउट इट.
Everything.
Controversies, negative thoughts, theories. There are a lot of people have tried and documented a lot of things. तो इन सबको साइड पे रख के सिर्फ उसका ह्यूमन साइड जो था उसी को अप्रोच करना. And I guess that is what the people are liking about it.
प्रतीक, आप गुजरात में आप सुपरस्टार माना जाता है आपको.
अरे बाबा.
और इस सीरीज के बाद पूरे हिंदुस्तान में और द वर्ल्ड ओवर लोग आपको पहचानेंगे.
Yes.
For sure, but there's absolutely no doubt about that you will be spoken about because I think you've done an outstanding job. The body language, the colors, the clothes, the way that you've worn it, the hairstyle, the smirk, the way he laughs, everything. It's like amazingly done. Can we say that this is the biggest moment in your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
no. Actually, I'm going to say that this is the start of many big moments in his career.
No, absolutely. I think. There are so many things that filmmakers would love to explore about you from here on. I think.
But yes, this is the biggest project of my career till now. In whatever format that I have worked, be it theatre, cinema, regional cinema, or mainstream. And this is the biggest project of my career till now. So yeah, it's a big milestone.
Shreya, have you spoken to Rajdeep Sardesai by any chance?
Not yet. I hope. When he sees the show, if and when he sees the show, that he will like it.
But he hasn't been presented in that flattering a light, right?
No, actually, I think he has been presented because there's a certain conversation that Sucheta has later in her career when I think the newspaper, decides to give you the column.
Yeah.
She even thinks about Rajdeep would have never allowed something like this. This would have never happened under Rajdeep. So she has great respect for Mr. Sardesai.
All right. Okay. And you read the book?
The Scam. Yeah, we all got a copy. Yeah? We all. I told you when, not I. Pratik said that. I mean, we did all possible research, and that involved us reading everything that we could get our hands on, and archival footage, and interviews, and everything. So yeah.
Okay. Now there is this moment when you are having with R.K. Lakshman.
Yeah.
And you tell him that why a common man and why not a common woman?
Yeah.
So Mr. Lakshman totally charms you and gives a wonderful answer to that. That was the time, early 90s, when there were hardly, I think, any women journalists when it comes to finance, especially. Sucheta Dalal must have been a trailblazer of sorts as well.
No, she was. She was one of the first female financial journalists of India.
Right. And can you also consider her as a champion of feminism in a way as well? Because she does come across as someone who just stands up for herself, who can be fearless and
but
who does things
it's not just
I don't think well.
Being a woman is a requisite for being a feminist, right? All the people on our set of this, I mean, of Scam 1992 were all feminists because everybody believes in the equality of men and women. And in that respect, yeah, obviously she was one of the pioneers. So are many other journalists.
I'm talking about 1990s. I'm talking about early 1990s. 2000 is different from early 1990s.
I hear you.
But I guess during that time, in the financial world, she was the only one. Yeah, who did so much of work.
Because they were involved as well.
A job like this, she followed this show passionately. So I guess, yeah, I mean, you're right when you're saying that Sucheta Dalal was the only lady with that much of guts who was, running after these big shots for her stories.
I mean, we even see the show that she's one of the first people to bring out the word scam. It wasn't used before. Before, I think it was brought out, especially in Harshad Mehta's case. Scam was first introduced.
Yes.
Before that, it was always called financial irregularities.
Correct.
Sure, tell me something that be it Family Man, be it Scam as well, there is liberal usage of English, for example. So
Okay.
Liberal usage
there
of
is no
English.
boundary that हमें हिंदी में बोलना चाहिए और हमें certain maybe lesser amount in English, for example. Do you find that liberating especially from writing perspective, because it's flowing very naturally? It does not look odd. That's how people talk. Like say in a newspaper environment, that's how people would talk. That they will be liberal users of English, and they're not trying to simplify it. They're using the vocabulary that comes naturally to them, and there is Hindi as well. Do you find that liberating as an artist?
I think what you said in your question, I think that was the key word, because it's natural. I mean,
Yeah.
you're very right in that observation, because people speak with a smattering of at least 3 languages. In India, because everybody knows Hindi, English right off the bat, and one extra mother tongue, right? Unless Hindi also happens to be your mother tongue. But people know 3 languages just right off the bat, and if they're in familiar company, you get a smattering of all those languages. So I like the fact that it's natural, like you said. But as artists, and I'm sure Pratik will also agree with me, it's always a nice challenge to take up something that you don't know. For example, I'd love to do a Gujarati film. He'd love to do a Malayalam film.
Yeah.
We both love to do Tamil films.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, Pratik, tell us something about the preparation part for this role. The
This
writers,
preparation was
Harshad
very
Mehta.
interesting. Yeah, so preparing this character of Harshad Mehta, it was very interesting for me. In a sense that I had been doing this real life characters and biopics on stage from last almost 10 years. And I have done Mahatma Gandhi, so Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, that I have portrayed on stage as a monologue of 2 hours.
Oh my God, I would have loved to see that.
And I do that in 3 different languages, Hindi, English and Gujarati.
Arre.
So that worked very well for me as a preparation, when I didn't even know that something like this is going to come in my life.
Connect the dots. See?
Yeah.
Connect the dots.
Before that, I had did this monologue on a very, very famous Gujarati literature writer, Chandrakant Bakshi. And he was loved for his ego. So that was a unique thing that I had to portray on stage for 1.5 hours. That was also a monologue. So I guess these monologues, specifically creating these real life characters or biopic characters on stage, helped me a lot. Understand the nuances of the emotions that you carry, without even saying the dialogue. If I'm alone on stage and I'm walking on stage for 5 minutes without saying anything, and still those 500 people, those who are sitting there, are glued to me, is what I need to learn and earn also. So I guess I kept doing that for a long time on stage. That helped me. On top of it, creating a character which is generally largely perceived as a wrong person, as a negative guy, who did wrong to the entire country. So many people lost their lives because of him. And portraying him neutrally was another challenge. That I am not supposed to be biased. Even after knowing everything about it, I had to unlearn everything, put it to the back of my mind, and then I have to approach this neutrally. So that was interesting. And I guess Hansal sir, who briefed both of us in one single sentence, is that do whatever you want to do to create this character, but make it a part of your body. The moment it looks forced, it will not work.
Correct.
So entire process was internalized.
Yeah. This was the brief to the entire task.
So this one line brief actually changed the whole perspective towards approaching the character.
Correct.
And Hansal Mehta is there in a cameo as well.
Yeah. Yes.
We see him from behind.
Oh, he's
We see him from behind, but he's there. He's there in the. The interesting part is you spoke about Gujarati theatre. So it's very fascinating that Gujarati literature is very rich. Gujarati plays are really rich. Ironically, Gujarati cinema hasn't really made that big a mark yet, but hopefully it will catch up. But I think they've got a very rich literature.
Yes. So Gujarati literature, I guess the roots are, coming from more than 200, 500 years actually. Ever since Narsi Mehta and Meera started writing those pieces, वो भक्ति संगीत था, वो पूरा भक्ति literature था, and then it started. So if I talk about a contemporary to Rabindranath Tagore is Jhaverchand Meghani, and the kind of stories that he has written is phenomenal. So Gujarati literature is very rich. The only part, as far as you're saying, I'm talking about the film, is that Gujarati filmmakers have not tapped that particular territory yet. Trying to be urban, trying to be young in storytelling. That doesn't mean that you leave those things,
I think that's an Indian problem.
Yeah, but
Not just
slowly and
which
is very true,
Yeah.
And slowly and steadily, people are exploring those things now. So
More so on web.
No, I hope that.
So
do.
recent film which won the national award, Hellaro, they could capture it brilliantly.
Now it is coming in Gujarati cinema, but only recently it's something that is being spoken about and people are discovering Gujarati cinema. Okay, now Shreya, there is another, I think, a very important dialogue in the series when Debashish tells you, when you discover Mazda Industries, that what is the reality behind Mazda Industries. And he tells you that value is based on perception. I think that's a beautiful moment because I think that in a way defines what happens with Harshad Mehta. Like
That's true.
the perception
That's
that was there, what he becomes, and then perception when people stop believing in him. Tell us something about that line.
So this is actually, again, you're bringing up such like important points that I don't know, like you've already said half the things, I don't know what to add. Because that is true. It was fascinating to see कि perception की वजह से prices actually go up and down. And you could actually drive them up and down. You could manipulate the market. You can fix the prices. I mean, one of the first episodes, Harshad even talks about the car, na, Maruti wala. Maruti car? Which was the car? That prices बढ़ रहे Fiat car? Premier, exactly. So there, even when he first figures out that the shares prices were going before, and then he finds out and reads the article in the newspaper, कि यार अब छपा है news that they're introducing a new model, right?
Yeah, they're introducing a new.
They're changing something or they're shifting a price. They're doing something, but the news comes after. But again, see, the perception is because of the climbing prices, you obviously want to believe that the stock is doing well. Because you think the stock is doing well, you want to buy more, and if you buy more, the price goes up again. So it's fascinating. The simple point that you picked up, that perception actually drives the market, is very true, and I think we tried to show that in the show.
And imagine the beauty of it is that back in 1990s and 80s, before this entire world of social media and all, the game of perception was limited to stock market and to certain industry. Now this social media and everything, the game of perception is the only main thing which is being sold in the market.
I mean, there's a new job designation called an influencer. If that does not drive
just create a perception. Everybody, even a lot of actors were getting projects on perception.
Perception.
Everything is getting sold on perception. So, but these guys played this particular game back then in 90s. So he was a genius, I think.
Yeah, it's a great point, Faridoon.
He was. There's no doubt about that. As he was called an Einstein. At a function as well.
Bachchan, BSc
so he was charismatic. He was charismatic, right? So he was charismatic. There's no doubt about that. The interesting part is, we tend to watch a lot of films and series. मेरा क्या होता है मैं बहुत जल्दी बोर हो जाता हूँ, especially when it comes to biopics or biographies. If they're eulogizing too much, if it seems like a propaganda vehicle of maybe like a whitewash or cleanup act. But what I really found it fascinating about this particular series was that it seems like a good newspaper story, very objective. It is just stating facts the way they are, like as Sucheta Dalal says constantly as well, that I'm just stating facts. And that's the beauty of it. That he's doing what he's doing, you're seeing what he's doing, and you understand that there's something fishy. He's too cocky. He can be too arrogant at times in terms of, and careless, reckless as well. Personally, जब आप लोगों को ये स्क्रिप्ट पहली बार मिली थी, आपके लिए कितना ये fascinating था कि that इसमें ये कह पाना कि यार ये सही है या गलत है. Even Sucheta Dalal can come across as someone who's being manipulated. So it's not as if she's all white. Even she can come across as manipulated. So even she's using it as a big story to just catapult herself onto that big stage. Or even the book that she's writing, in a way it is exploitative. In a way it is exploitative as well. How exciting was it for you guys? Sir, amazing. Sir, I've seen all the episodes. Loved it, sir.
Thank you, Faridoon. How are you?
Absolutely loved it. I'm very good, sir. I'm very good. And I was telling Pratik that you are there in the cameo. I noticed that as well.
No, I'm taking up acting as a full-time job now.
You must have seen his ad also.
She means really.
I didn't say he's so good, yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, very good.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward.
Bye, Faridoon.
So already I've just narrated a very long question to you guys. You can just.
I think Pratik also answered it earlier, because it's about showing everyone as neutrally as possible, because we wanted to present a story to the audience. And again, see, like you're coming up with your observations and the points that spoke to you. We love that, because that was our aim. We wanted the conversation going. We wanted people to discuss ki, yaar, is this person actually at fault, or is it like a grey thing? Because we've tried to make sure that most of the characters and the stories that we were portraying on screen, that they were all grey. That you don't completely know कि यार ये सही कर रहे हैं या गलत कर रहे हैं. तो that was our endeavor starting the show. And when we read the script, that first both of us couldn't believe that we were actually given this opportunity. So it took us a lot of months to calm down, not weeks, months to calm down. In fact, even now, I don't think we can believe the response that we're getting. But once we read the script, which is like 550 pages, this thick, it was a ride. It was a ride and a privilege just to read it, and then to get a chance to play and portray Faridoon. We cannot tell you how happy we are with the response. We just cannot.
No.
But I'll add
think
something
you've got
here, Faridoon. For your question, I'll just add one thing.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
As you asked this, that there are a lot of points which were grey, which nobody knew. Not even writers. We didn't know that. Not even writers. That did he actually do that?
Exactly. The 1 crore bit.
Now then, how do you approach those sequences? Like, for example, when Harshad and Ashwin, they go to that this guy in the bank, and he says that you sold my shares, which by mistake came to you. And then when they are trying to explain, he says that which is the most the costliest thing in the world is trust.
Pherwani.
Pherwani, when it's the first meeting with Pherwani in UTI, Unit Trust of India. And that's when he says that you've sold my shares, which came to you by mistake. And that's when I actually asked Hansal sir, that what did he do actually? Did he do that or no? Hansal said, I don't know, nobody knows it. But this is one particular thing which is there. So now we have to approach it this way, that it is ambiguous. So we try to approach it that way. Even audience is thinking, पता नहीं चल रहा है उसने किया है कि नहीं किया है. For Pherwani, he did that. So I guess there were a lot of such moments. The trust wala line, that सबसे महंगी
It's a killer line.
Trust is one thing which is higher in demand and lesser in supply.
That is a line.
I think the writing is amazing. Let's talk about the writers.
Yes.
Let's talk about Hansal Mehta. Let's talk about the camera person. Because I think ये पूरा जो आपने जो color tone use किया है, I think for the entire is beautiful. The camera work is outstanding. So let's talk about the technical aspects. Even the editing, I think, is very nice.
Yes. So I will list out the names and then we will start praising them.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
They deserve
it. The show is, as you know, directed by National Award-winning director Hansal Mehta. It was co-directed by Jay Mehta, who was completely instrumental in our pre-production and post-production. He knew where which eyebrow went up in which scene, which shoulder had the bag, that much level of detail. Our wonderful writers are Sumit Purohit and Saurabh Dey. Sumit also edited the show along with Kunal, I think, right?
Yeah.
And we have wonderful dialogue writers called Vaibhav Vishal and Karan Vyas. And people have been quoting the dialogues to us, which means that, it worked. We have some CT Mart type of dialogues in the show, which we're very glad about. And the cinematographer is Pratham Mehta. A lot of Mehtas in the show about a man called Mehta. So, amazing people all around. I mean, one thing that I must say, that we did know that, it was a heavy show going in. Every day we had around 10-15 pages, or wo bhi not to shoot. Each character had that many pages and paragraphs and monologues. Like he said, all of his training helped him coming to this one beautiful project and coalescing, right? For everybody. But because of all the names that I mentioned, because of everybody's excitement to be on this project, every single day it was actually a light set. It was a very light set. Considering the heavy material that we were tackling, lunch used to be a great time. We used to all chill for 1.5 hours and just talk, and it was so much fun. It was an absolute privilege shooting with these gentlemen.
We have this quiz.
Ooh,
to how well do you guys know Harshad Mehta?
Oh shit. That's not fair, You're asking his expertise, Faridun.
So, no, but Sucheta Dalal has written the book, so even I think she should be knowing a lot of stuff.
Know everything, you're right.
So it's a very balanced level playing field for both of you. The first question is, on which date was Harshad Mehta born? 29th June, 29th July, 28th June, 28th July.
कैसे guess करेंगे? Options लेके क्या करेंगे? हमें पता ही नहीं है.
28th July?
29th June.
29th July.
Oh,
दोनों को नहीं पता है. Harshad Mehta spent his childhood in Dombivli, Panvel, Kandivali, Jogeshwari.
Kandivali or Dombivli?
No. Kandivali
or Dombivli? One of those two.
He's right.
Kandivali.
He's right.
I know it was some Bali.
Pratik is right. Yeah. So one 0. Harshad Mehta completed his BCom from which college? I'll give you options. Lal Bahadur Shastri College, Lala Lajpat Rai College, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, MK Gandhi College.
Which was the second option?
I would say option 2.
Yeah.
Lala Lajpat Rai.
Lala Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat
Yeah.
Rai.
Even she was saying it, but I think you said it first. So 2-0. Even she said second option, but no, I think, but you said it first.
Yeah.
The name you said. Okay. On which date did Harshad Mehta die?
Day. Okay.
29th November, 30th November, 30th December, 31st December.
29. It was December. 30th December.
31st December. 31st December.
Shreya got it. 31st December. 2-1.
Yeah, 31st.
Okay.
So it's heating up now. So I think Shreya is closing in now. Harshad Mehta became a member of BSE Bombay Stock Exchange in which year? 1982, 1984, 1985, 1986.
1984.
He got it. 2-all. This is getting very close
Fastest
now.
finger first. Yeah.
No, abhi bhi hai. In which of the following
Okay.
schools did Harshad Mehta study? Hari Prasad Vidya Mandir, Holy Cross Byron Bazar, Manibai Gujarati High School, Bridge Lala Biani High School.
Fourth one?
I don't know.
Bridge Lala Biani High School? No.
G. No? Oh.
No. Shreya wants to take a guess. Hari Prasad Vidya Mandir, Holy Cross Byron Bazar, Manibai Gujarati High School.
The second one?
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross?
Yeah.
She's right.
That was a total guess.
3-2.
That was a total
Wild
Three,
guess, right?
Yeah,
Wild guess.
3-2. Okay, there are two
Total
more,
guess.
and let's see if Pratik can catch up. Harshad Mehta started his career in NIACL as clerk, junior assistant manager, salesperson, probationary officer.
Clerk.
Salesperson?
Clerk.
Salesperson, she's right.
Oh, yeah.
That was a total guess.
I read.
Total
But again,
guess.
4-2.
he has done
Because I
one job
thought-
as he has done one job as clerk also somewhere.
Yeah, but I thought he's good at sales.
Yeah.
At NIACL.
NIS.
He started his career in NIACL with which job? That was a salesperson. Now this one is very easy. It's really easy. It's just that who gets it first. So maybe Pratik, you can redeem yourself. So ideally, Shreya should get it
Oh, okay.
before you. But let's see. In 1992, journalist Sucheta Dalal exposed Harshad Mehta's illegal methods in a column of which newspaper?
Times of India.
Times. Come on.
got
Times of India.
But I told you that it's easy. I told you it's easy. By virtue of 5-2, Shreya Dhanwanthary has won this. Okay, let's move on to rapid fire, and you can make it exciting with your witty responses, Pratik Gandhi. What fascinated you the most about the story of Harshad Mehta?
The complex human emotion, one. And that there are actually two reasons. So can I say two?
Please go ahead.
Hansel Mehta.
That is
All right. One common quality between Harshad Mehta and you.
Passion.
What was the last risk taken by you where the line risk hai to ishq hai fits perfectly?
Oh, I left my job. हाँ. So मतलब लास्ट रिस्क सबसे बड़ा रिस्क तो ये लिया था कि फुल फ्लेजेड सेट कॉर्पोरेट करियर 2016 में विद फुल फ्लेजेड सेट फैमिली मैंने छोड़ दिया एंड देन आई बिकेम अ फुल टाइम एक्टर बिकॉज टिल दैट टाइम आई वाज डूइंग थिएटर एंड फिल्म्स एंड जॉब टुगेदर.
correct.
सो आई गेस मैंने ऐसे टाइम पे जॉब छोड़ा था कि पता नहीं था तब क्या होने वाला है.
Nice.
What's that one reason you'd like to work with Hansel Mehta again and again?
He is actor's director, completely actor's director. So that the kind of freedom that he gives you, that he lets you explore, and that's the best thing.
Who do you think is the big bull of Bollywood?
Right now, Ranveer Singh. Yeah.
If you could go back in time and talk to Harshad Mehta for 30 seconds, what would you say?
I would ask for some tips, investment tips.
One quality of following people you wish you had. Amir Khan.
So I guess the focus,
Okay. Ram Jethmalani.
knowledge of law,
Amitabh Bachchan.
Voice.
flexibility. I mean the way he changes his self in any character, you know.
Yes. Shah Rukh Khan.
His wit.
Yes. Complete the following sentences, please. The toughest thing about playing Harshad Mehta was
To be neutral when I approached the character. I mean, remove any bias which was there in my mind. I had to remove that.
A Bollywood actor who inspires me a lot is
Amitabh Bachchan.
one thing I don't like about Bollywood is
Okay, that's difficult because I love a lot of things about it. यार. मतलब हाँ, what she says is that. So I guess risk है तो इसके वाला मामला थोड़ा कम लगता है मुझे वहाँ पर.
Bollywood
They're still not taking risk. Yeah. मतलब with subjects or with anything. I want to see the different subjects, different treatment, different people, everything.
So now it's time for rapid fire with Shreya. Something that every aspiring journalist should learn from Sucheta Dalal.
Perseverance.
One thing I think that is unfortunately lacking a lot in today's journalism.
Integrity.
What is the stupidest question a journalist has asked you?
Where do I know you from?
And what was your answer?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. How much time did you take to say yes to this show?
I said yes before I got the role. मुझे रोल मिला नहीं, मैं हाँ कर दिया. मैंने हाँ कर दिया.
What makes Pratik different from his contemporaries?
He comes with no baggage, which makes him equipped to handle all the heavy baggage.
What, according to you, is your best performance so far?
The next one.
In one word, how would you sum up the social media?
Necessary. I would have said necessary evil, but then that's 2 words, so I just stopped at necessary.
Okay, how do you react when I say fake news?
That's how I react.
If you were a journalist, what question would you ask to following people? Manoj Bajpayee.
How do you get your discipline?
All right, Pratik Gandhi.
How did you prepare for this immense role? Like, I know the answer, but it is still unimaginable what you have pulled off.
All right, Imran Hashmi.
How do you always get fascinating songs in your films, man? How?
Shah Rukh Khan.
What are you reading currently?
Okay, Mr. Arnab Goswami.
I think he won't give me a chance to ask a question. Opportunity nahi milega. He'll ask me the questions. I'll be lucky if I get to say my name.
But you will be asking one question. Can I ask you is the question that she'll be asking him.
All right. What question would you like to ask to Rajdeep Sardesai?
When are you watching the show?
When are you watching the show? All right, that's interesting. Complete the following sentences, please. People go crazy about The Family Man 2 because it has
Manoj Bajpayee.
Best compliment that I received for my performance in Scam 1992 is that?
We actually just received a phone call from Satish Kaushik ji, and I was screaming that he was calling me. I'm like, oh my god, and he's like, no, I should tell you, oh my god. So that was pretty cool.
He's terrific as well in the series. Okay, the hardest thing about playing Sucheta Dalal was?
Actually, I still can't believe people like what I did. So the hardest thing is to play a living, breathing person.
Shreya, you are having this very much looked forward to series in The Family Man 2. People are desperately waiting for it. Tell us, what is it that people can expect in the season 2 of Family Man?
Faridoon, obviously, I can't tell you anything about Family Man 2. I can only say that it will be bigger and better than the first season, and it will be coming soon. So stay tuned.
But what do you think was the reason for its success in the first place? Why do you think people liked it so much?
I genuinely think it shares a lot in common with Scam because it was very real. I mean, we tried to show a spy, but we then showed that he has a family and he's struggling with maintaining the duality of his work, which is completely unimaginable with terrorists and chemical gas attacks and all of that. On the one hand, he has children who are wrecking his life, his wife who doesn't really trust what he does. So I think the real aspect of the duality and the fact that there was nuanced comedy, which Raj and DK are very good at, I think all of that, yeah. And then we had performances again from all over the country with people you've not seen before, you're not entirely familiar with, and I think that really helped. I think that that's what helps our show as well.
Right, and you have one thing in common with Scam and Family Man, and that is Sharif Hashmi.
You have two things.
Yeah.
I am also there. Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
Actually, we have
of
three
course.
things. We have Jay Upadhyay also, who plays Dr. Desai in
अब
Family
देखिए
Man.
आदमी अपनी तारीफ तो खुद से तो नहीं करेगा ना, आप तो है ही जाहिर सी
आप
बात.
तो नहीं कर रहे, हाँ?
तो श्रेया जी, इतने 1 घंटे से मैं क्या कर रहा था आपकी तारीफ अगर नहीं कर रहा था तो? बताइए, पिछले 1 घंटे से मैं क्या कर रहा था अगर आपकी तारीफ नहीं कर रहा था तो?
एंड में भी चाहिए ना थोड़ा.
देखिए, मतलब नुआंस तरीके से उसको हमें एंड करना था. But you know, I absolutely loved, and I can talk to you guys for 2-3 hours honestly, because it has become part of my system. And as I told you, I become bored very easily. I've not seen a lot of stuff which comes, but
We are so
when you
glad
really
our
good
show passed your boredom
hooked on to something.
line.
No, I remember I
No,
have
but-
met him
but it's
briefly
the
during the
credit
show.
goes-
And I mean, he might not remember it, but I have met you
I
briefly
do.
during
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Of
No,
course
I
I
mean,
remember.
and a very brief discussion. I guess we have spoken only one line.
No, but we did in Ahmedabad, right?
No, we met here in Bombay.
We met in Ahmedabad as well at the premiere.
Oh yes. Ahmedabad premiere also you were there.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I think this can go on and on. It's 11 o'clock. So, thank you very much, both of you, and congratulations once again
Thank
Thank
for
you very much.
an absolutely amazing series. And I'm sure that you guys will get ready for a lot of accolades that are going to be coming your way in the next few weeks. And there will
Thank
be
you.
loads and loads of them. So, all the best wishes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
very much,
having
and
us.
have a good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
To everyone else who's watching, please watch Scam 1992, the Harshad Mehta story, streaming on Sony Live. Tell him everything that you didn't like. Tell me everything that you liked. Okay?
Win-win situation for everyone. But I think Pratik is outstanding. Mother, I must
He
tell
is.
to people who are watching, he is outstanding in the series. So thank you very much, and all the best wishes.